Welcome back to One Comic Book a Day, where we're covering Superboy, issue 2 in the second story, George Washington's Drum. A story that's supposed to be about American exceptionalism and American propaganda, a type of story that I generally don't enjoy because, well, it's not much of a Superman story to have him kowtowing to the government. Something I really like about the Superman movie. But the way they go about it ends up backfiring, and I think they accidentally say the exact opposite, which is amazing and why I kind of love this story. Not love in the way I love those like big stories I constantly bring up, but I kind of love it just for how they kind of screwed this up in almost a subversive manner. So this is all just an excuse to have Superboy run around in the American Revolution. He's at a museum and notices with his X-ray vision his cape inside George Washington's drum. Hence the title, George Washington's Drum. So he travels back in time. We're in that era of Superboy, Superman stories where he just jumps back in time. He had several stories like this in Superman where he jumped back in time after finding something in the museum that was sort of like a paradox. It would set him in motion to go back. We don't need to talk about those stories. But he goes back here, and eventually we will discover that his cape was used as a flag during a battle. None of that's particularly all that important to the story. What the story ends up having is Superboy being involved in famous moments in the American Revolution, specifically around George Washington, like the crossing of the Delaware. The thing is, so this story is supposed to be how America's great, how great George Washington was, but because they need a story where Superboy is involved, it becomes very clear, accidentally, incidentally, that Superboy won the American Revolution. Americans didn't win the American Revolution. The immigrant, illegal space alien won the American Revolution. Uh-oh! It says the exact opposite. There is no really American exceptionalism if the Americans didn't really win the American Revolution on their own. Like, he allows George Washington to cross the Delaware. He stops some ships being destroyed. He gives help to the American soldiers so they can win the battle. It seems utterly impossible, according to this story in the DC universe, that the Americans would have won the revolution without Superboy. So by trying to have Superboy involved in the American Revolution, they kind of just screw up the whole American exceptionalism, especially when they're dealing with the immigrant character. I love it. So good. Amazing. No notes. I mean, I could have some notes. It's also basically saying that General Washington wasn't that great of a general. Also, this is accidental, though to be honest, he wasn't a particularly good general. I mean, some of his biggest battles were mostly based on luck, like crossing the Delaware. Essentially involved no one over the time it took him to get across looking outside. Not a great strategy. Just isn't. Luckily, he had Superboy, so it didn't matter. There isn't much else to say about it. I just kind of love that this pro-American propaganda piece inadvertently just says kind of the opposite and does something kind of stupid with it. I absolutely am here for. Okay, that is it from Superboy issue 2. George Washington's Drum. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Bell icon to get notifications when a new video goes up. I do this Monday through Friday, but Fridays is Bat Friday. We're covering Batman story, either Detective Comics or Batman. And until next time, let's ponder whatever did happen to the Boy of Tomorrow. And what other wars did he win for us? 1812? Did he win 1812 for us? Did he secretly burn down the White House? Have a good day.